folks. Good evening and welcome to the Marshfield School Committee meeting of Tuesday, October 7th. Mrs. Pazurski, if you could please call the roll.
Stetson. Here. Dargan. Here. Greer.
Mrs. Pazurski, please pause and call Ms. Brate last.
Mr. Greer.
Here.
Costello.
Here.
Mrs. Brate. Here.
Please rise and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please also join me for the Peace Builders Pledge. I am a peace builder. I pledge to praise people, to give up put downs, to seek wise people, to notice and speak up about hurts that cause, to right wrongs, to help others. I will build peace at home, at school, and in my community each day. Under the open meeting law, I'm informing the public that this meeting is being videotaped by Marshfield Community Media. If anybody else is taping this meeting, either audio or video, please notify us of such at this time. Seeing none, we have an executive session on our agenda. We're going to push that to the end of the agenda because, as you can see, we have a bit of a crowd here, which is unusual for a school committee meeting. But it's not unusual to see just how much people love Laura Ray, who today is our spotlight on excellence. We have a few people here who are going to say just a few words about this break, and I'm of course going to open it up to the committee to say a few things, as well as to the administration, and of course Mrs. Pazurski too, if you'd like, Johnny. I think it's probably going to be a very emotional experience for each of us to have the opportunity to say just how much this wonderful woman sitting next to me means to all of us, and just how much she means to the community of Marshfield. Since being elected to the school committee, I've heard an awful lot about community builders, people who go above and beyond to imbue their soul and their heart into the community that they're a part of, and to serve selflessly. And the definition of a community builder is Laura Brate. There is probably nobody in the entire town of Marshfield who does as much as Laura, who seeks no credit, who actually gets quite a bit of crap for some of the things that she does. Mr. Granatino arrived here on the beach bus, he knows. It's rare in a community to have somebody who devotes themselves so wholly to the people of their town. I've known Laura for a long time. Obviously, before I had the opportunity to serve with you, we were friends and we'd see each other out and about. Now I count you among my very good friends. And I've learned so much working with you. The lessons that I've learned, having the opportunity to be your partner on the school committee, are lessons that will stick with me for the rest of my life. But most of all, what I've learned is the kind of person that you are and how much you care about people. There are so many things in Marshfield Public Schools that have Laura's name all over it. She has, in her 6 years on the committee, worked to totally revamp and revitalize how we do mental health treatment in Marshfield Public Schools. She has created an internship program that has given students opportunities beyond the four walls of this high school and beyond the walls of their classroom. She worked so hard. She was the chair of this committee in the aftermath of COVID and the aftermath of the pandemic. And she put herself in the line of fire to protect our administrators, to protect our educators against unfair criticism. And she never cared if it came her way because she knew that she was fulfilling her role in providing for student achievement. This person right next to me cares so deeply about every single student in Marshfield Public Schools. And as she goes through this battle with breast cancer, it was very important to all of us here that she knew that we have her back, but also that this community has her back. And so to see this room full tonight of people who support Laura Brate and who know everything she does for this community warms my heart, and I certainly hope it warms yours too. I would ask Superintendent Sullivan if you have anything you would like to say. I'm sure that you do.
Yes, well, first of all, I want to recognize that this is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and obviously we have a warrior here who's battling through it, but I know that at home and in this audience, there are people who are also going through their own battle, and breast cancer, and for that matter, any disease or cancer that impacts not only the individual going through it, but the family members and loved ones who support them and are with them through that. So, we all stand in solidarity with you, as we do with you, Laura. And, to echo what Sean said about Laura's boundless energy, her never give up on anything spirit. And this is just a bump in the road that isn't ready for someone like Laura. Great. I'm proud to be a member of the community where, you're a leader, and I'm proud to call you my friend as well. But I'm also just proud of the support here that we have for Laura and for anyone who's going through this right now. It's a tough thing to go through. So I want to say that. And, again, really proud to be alongside you for this.
Thank you, Dr. Sullivan. Before I recognize the committee and any other administrators who'd like to speak, I would like to recognize our retired superintendent, Mr. Jeff Granatino, who, if you don't know, fun fact, now works for Laura.
Fun.
Yes, it is. Mr. Granatino, I would invite you to say anything you would like to say. First of all, welcome back to your first school committee meeting since your retirement. I know that Laura break is certainly a very appropriate thing to bring you back to a school committee meeting out of retirement, so welcome back.
Thank you. Sit here.
You do whatever you want. You can stand, you can sit, you can anything you want.
And I don't think it's fair to bring me back to my first meeting in a year and a half, and probably making me weep a little bit. I think my last meeting I spoke here, was weeping and I was going out the door, but I'll do my best. First of all, friends, administration, principals, and school committee members, it's great to see you all. I miss you dearly. Miss the job, great them up. But I'm doing some fun stuff now with Laura and some others, and everything that Atlantic is doing is going great. And again, to your point, Sean, earlier, because Laura's involved. I can't think of anything that we did as a district, as a committee, as an administrative team. I didn't have all the fingerprints of the members here on it, but Laura in particular was one out there, as you said, taking bullets sometimes for the group. Always there for the kids, always there for the teachers, always there to do the right thing, and that's just the way she's wired. And some of my favorite times were going out on those Fridays and giving out the educator of the week with Alan, or with see what Laura did with Sean there, and tried to mix it up. But that was a highlight, because that's what we're here for. We're here to celebrate great people, and Laura is a great person who does that in everything she does. On the committee, obviously, but in the Chamber of Commerce, the things that she does for the town, and talking about some of the silly things that people like to brag about. I mean, lots of it. It's just it's an amazing organization, amazing event that is so good for this town. It's some questions, but she doesn't care, and because she knows it's right. And that's just the way she is. She's one of the strongest women I know. I told her a while ago, I hope when my daughters grow up, they're half as compassionate and half as tough as she was, because even before this battle, she was always ready to take on any challenge, as long as she knew what she was doing was the right thing. And she only did what was right. And as you remember, I had a little battle with cancer myself, and one of the first people in my house was Laura, and sorry. But that's the way she is. And I was soon joined her, and it helped me get through it, because it's scary. No matter how tough you are, and how strong you are, and you can take another challenge. It doesn't happen that way always. And but she was there for me, and I'm so thrilled to see all these people here for her family. They're amazing people. Steve, Gates, the crowd, Shane, everybody, all her friends. We're here because we love you, and we know you can do this. And you've been there for all of us at some point or another, and it's our time to have it. Take care of you. So we'll have to get through the finish line. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you very much. I would now turn to the members of the committee. If you have anything you would like to add, as I'm sure that you do. I've been working with Laura for a long time, knowing about her. Did you recognize you first or last?
Yes, first, because then I will be crying at the end.
Yes. It's going to happen either way. I just wanted to see, like,
I can do it. I can keep it together. Watch. And then I'll impress you all. I'm not really going to talk about stuff you do in school committee because we all know that you do anything and everything for the best interest of our kids. But I will share 2 stories that when I think about you and your generosity that you have and your strength, they come to mind and make me laugh, so I'm not going to cry about it. But the first was like my first winter as a solo mom in my house, and I woke up in the morning and there was water coming down the wall of my basement. And I called my dad, and my dad didn't know what to do, and I was like, I don't know who else to call. And I was like, I'm going to text Laura and see if she knows who I can call. So I call Laura, I'll talk to Steve, we'll figure out someone, we'll get back to you. Here's this number of this guy, call. Like, okay, I called, whoever it was, left a message. 2 or 3 hours later, Laura and Steve show up to my house. They had just come back from, I think, a hockey game for Chase. It was freezing cold with a ladder and like an axe because I didn't know to clean out my gutters. And they stayed outside of my house for like a solid 2 hours, chiseling ice out of the entire length of my back gutter so that I had more water. I was floored, and we laughed about it, and Evie and Charlotte were like, oh my gosh, Mr. and Mrs. Gray are like the nicest people. I was like, nobody else would do that except them. And a second thing that makes me laugh, I called Lara one day in the spring of last year, and my oldest, Charlotte, who has a lot of opinions, for the first time in life, I got a phone call from an administrator at Farmingsbrook that she had said something inappropriate in class. She had shared her opinion, and maybe it wasn't in the best way, and I called Lara, and I said, oh my God, I can't believe this. Charlotte, this thing happened in class, and Charlotte said this, and as I'm horrified, Laura is like, good for her. Charlotte's like, see? So all that to say, like, I am I'm obviously grateful for your work in the committee, but I'm more grateful that I know that when things go wrong and I call you, you will always answer, always. I'm also super thankful that my girls have another really good, they have so many great women in their life, but no one like you that is not afraid to ruffle some feathers, not afraid to do things that might get some backlash. And I've been able to watch you and learn from you and become a little bit stronger in my own voice over the last, it feels like forever. I am so thankful for you for 1,000 other reasons, but I'm going to stop so I don't cry. But you have so many people here, and thousands probably more in the community rooting for you and supporting you. And you know, like Charlotte couldn't be here, but she said, Mrs. Bray doesn't let anything stand in her way. She's certainly not going to let breast cancer stand in her way. And I was like, yes, like that is you in a nutshell. So we love you.
Very well said. Ms. Stetson and I will, nice. Mic drop. Ms. Stetson and I will sit at town meeting as some folks say things that might be against the schools or anything like that. We'll just look at each other and go, look at Lara's face. And Lara's like staring at us. Like if somebody looked at me like that, I'd leave. Like I cry. Yeah. Ms. Stern.
Yeah, that's kind of, I think I wouldn't be saying the whole truth. I didn't say when I first started to get to know you a couple years ago on the school committee, I was a little intimidated at first. Coming in because of just seeing you around town in the community, getting stuff done. And it took, I don't know, a meeting, a text conversation, somewhere walking around the building to realize like, oh no, this is, she's not scary. It's just like, no, it all comes from this really, this really warm, generous, loving place. And if I think of something, when I have something happen, I think, oh, I love my son. Oh, she'll know I love my son. And you do. And it's awesome. It's inspiring. And I think you love to hear everything that's happening in life, just being no exception. And you have created an amazing community by being a giver community. And I love to see you be able to receive from love. And so I hope you take all the love and support that you're given and take it back.
I will turn it now to the person who said to me as early as 2015, you know you should run for school committee?
And for the record, I am a little scared of Laura.
You should be.
Yeah, we did
Yeah.
Talking about that, way back when, and you said absolutely not, and I'm paraphrasing because it was other words. And that actually really goes like, yeah. And here you are, and, yeah, I don't even know what to say, because everybody else has said it all, but, I mean, personally, I value the skills that you bring to life, because you can got some qualities that make this high performance team. Right, qualities that John saw and just your tenacity to get things done, right? It's amazing. And then going through all of this, I can't even imagine what that's like. I witnessed my mother go through it back 78 or 81, and it's just like, yeah, based on that, you're doing the same thing. I don't know how to do it. So I will not piss you off.
Please put that in the minutes.
Thank you so much.
I would like that in the public record.
Yeah,
Write that down, Tony.
put it in minutes, and
I think that would be a great headline.
Thank you.
South Shore Times, Mr. Career Sex.
yeah.
Yes. Anybody on this side of the table have anything they would like to say? You're certainly welcome. You don't have to, if you feel
I
that.
said thanks for everything you've done and will continue to do. You got it.
I just remember a few years ago, first day of convocation, and you were so vulnerable, but like you told your story so wonderful. And you connected everybody in the audience, and it was just like, great. But here you are, and like you can go from, I've seen that feisty side too, so. I was gonna say the same thing about town meeting, like,
Yes.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Um, Yeah, so you got this, like, you've been through some tough things in your life, and you are trying to do it, so you.
Well said.
And you are feisty, and I love that about you, because you set your mind to something and you get it done. And this is not fair, this whole situation, but you will get it done, but you will get it done.
Keep.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, leave those there. There's so many folks in the room here tonight. Oh, hi, Mom.
Good timing.
Yes.
That might be a first.
No, it's not, unfortunately.
I have no idea what you just said, but I'm sure you're going to be trouble for it later.
Up and grabbing my face.
I'll call you after the meeting. I'll tell you about it.
You know, I'm teasing.
So we have a lot of folks here, obviously, from many different facets of Lara's life. The last thing I'll ask before we end our Spotlight on Excellence, our first Spotlight on Excellence, and go to our Spotlight on Excellence in high school, is I know we have some of our principals here tonight, but we have one principal in particular who has known Mrs. Bray just a little longer.
Because she's older, is that?
Well, no, because you had her son. So not only did you have her son in elementary school, but you also are the principal of the elementary school where Lara went to school. I would just ask if you'd like to say anything.
Absolutely. So first of all, to echo what everyone else said, we were blessed to have Lara as a parent of Jace, who's 23 years old. So handsome still, but I just remember a couple of things with Lara, just like everybody said, she gets things done. We were at a school council meeting and someone said we needed a new rug in the library. And the next day, her husband's there with the team, it was like 24 hours. And then, Jace, your yearbook, there was a problem with the yearbook. It took our PTO 6 months to put together this yearbook. It fell apart. She took it overnight. I don't know whether she paid the world or her whole office must have, everything was there the next day, done and beautiful. So we're blessed to have you as a parent. We're blessed to have you on the school committee. And we wish you nothing but the best. Thank you very much.
I think you hit on a really important note too, is when we recognize somebody like this, we recognize your family too. Steve, like everything you've done for Marshfield Public Schools too does not go unnoticed. I mean, in almost every story that was just told, you're in so many of them, and what you do for the schools is so appreciated. And Jace, you're contrary to popular belief, still a student. And just having the opportunity to watch my friend find joy in being your mom is really nice to see, so we recognize you folks as well. And the last thing I'll say is simply, Marshfield is not Marshfield without Laura Rick. We are very, very lucky to have this wonderful woman in our community, and I would ask for a round of applause for Laura.
I don't think I've ever been so uncomfortable in my life. Honestly, like my entire life.
We did.
Yeah, really uncomfortable. I want to thank everybody for being here, and I think the hardest part for me has been letting people take care of me, because what I do is always take care of everybody else. And I recognize that people want to do things for me, and they want to support me. Look at me, I'm like a mental health healer, and I have to let people do that, because this isn't just about me. When something happens to someone that you love and that you care about, it affects everybody around you as well. So I know that everyone here and all my friends in the back, you guys are the best.
They didn't ask us to speak.
Do you want to? You
It's a family show.
can. Feels like you have a lot to say. Please. I feel like it would be very interesting stuff.
You have to make a statement.
So I want to thank everybody individually for the support that you've given me and the love that you've shown to me and my family. And I also just want to recognize anybody else that is also going through this. I've said a lot of times that although it's unfortunate and unfair and all those things, I am really lucky because there are a lot of positive things that have come out of this for me. I've learned a lot about myself in a very short period of time. And, you know, I will share one thing, that I am in a support group for young women with breast cancer. And there was a girl that was pregnant, and she was 6 months pregnant, and she has the exact same diagnosis as me, but she has to stop her treatment so she can give birth to her baby and then start again. So that makes her prognosis not as good. And so, although I'm there to get support for other people, I can recognize that there's always someone that's worse off than you. So, good news is I'm going to be fine, and I'm going to be around for a while, at least. But this has been really nice. I love the t-shirts. Thank you, everybody. And I got a special t-shirt with a swear word on it.
Taxpayer money did not fund that.
And I really just want a picture of Evie's nails, because I know she got them for me. And my little Vinny back there. I would love to get a picture. There's my goddaughter, Betty. Vinny, say hi to everybody. Did you wave? I'd love to get a photo with the kiddos, if that's okay.
Yes. I think it would be very appropriate to ask the committee for a 5 to 10 minute recess. So we can do a couple pictures. We can get a large group photo of everybody in their t-shirts, with Laura right in the smack dab center, as she is with pretty much everything in the entire town of Marshfield, right in the center of it. So if I could have a motion for a recess. So moved from Mr. Greer. Is there a second? Second, Mrs. Stetson. All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand saying aye. Aye. Opposed, abstaining, it's 5-0. Mrs. Pazerski. We'll be back in 10 minutes. Laura, break, everybody. Call the meeting back to order. Thank you very much, folks. A very nice start to our meeting. We have our second spotlight on excellence today. Our principal, Amy Settler of Marshfield High School, is here with us, playing host to us tonight, and she's going to talk about the Flex Block at MHS as our spotlight on excellence. Principal Settler.
Thank you. So I just want to share with you the implementation of the Flex Block that rolled out this fall. And it was in response to some changes that we're looking to make at the high school, but I just really want to focus first on the committee, the work of the committee. This was a year-long passion of all the members of our committee, and as you can see, based on the names that are represented on the slide there. There are staff, there's administrators, and there's also students involved, which is awesome. This is an active committee that is continuing through this year as well. So we're really excited to have diverse representation among the staff and with the students so that we're able to continue that communication loop that we started last year. So why a flex block? It's really important to communicate to the staff and the students the reason why we're looking at this. There was feedback during the NEAS visit, which took place in the spring of 2023 at Marshfield High School, that recommended that we implement the guidance curriculum in a real meaningful and thoughtful way. Up until that point, the guidance curriculum was actually being pushed out through the advisory program from our teachers rather than through the guidance counselors themselves. The guidance counselors were still meeting with students and pushing into English classes with certain elements, but it was a recommendation, and what they wanted as well was to be able to take control of their own curriculum, build upon it, and really implement it themselves. It was also a time to provide, during the school day, MTSS interventions, which really aligns with our district goals. So providing students both supports, interventions, but also those extensions for those students who are really accelerating as well. Also provided flexible time during the school day for things like assemblies, guest speakers, events that are going on during the school day that typically can pull kids out of instructional time. We wanted to build in a spot where we could minimize those disruptions and impacts on instructional time that were meaningful for our students and our staff. And it was also in response to replacing homeroom with an option that supports time on learning. We're going through a special education audit, and one of the things that came up was where we were on the time on learning, and we do know that homeroom doesn't count towards that time, so that 15-minute everyday homeroom wasn't structured in a way that provided that what a flex block does. So again, just to highlight why flex block aligned with our district objectives, I did highlight the 3 primary objectives that it's tied to. Again, MTSS, developing and strengthening our MTS practices, preparing students for postgraduate life, and ensuring accessible learning environments that are available for all students at all levels. Also, it's a great way to enhance and support the elements that are outlined in our vision of a graduate. We've identified competencies that we want all students to master by the time they graduate. So it's a way to increase equity and access among students so that they're able to meet those goals. So the benefits of a flex block. So this is what, that's fine. So the flex block is really, again, this is maybe a little bit redundant, but just really want to emphasize this was the work of the committee to really highlight that they really wanted to provide that time during the school day, actually scheduled during the school day where students had access to every teacher. So every single teacher is available during that time and accessible, which is a nice thing to have. Again, the implementation of the curriculum by the guidance counselors, but we can also during that time have one-on-one, small group, large group supports for students, also promoting social emotional health. Again, assemblies, classroom extensions. We do a lot of things during the school day with our students that are extensions of what's going on in the classroom. And these are great opportunities for our students, but again, trying to minimize the impact on time on learning for other instructional areas. It also gives students time during the school. Our students are super scheduled. They have activities, they have work, they're involved in clubs, so it does give them some structured time during the school day to catch up with their teachers and catch up with some work. And we're also thinking of it as a strategy for a potential increase in enrollment in electives. We really wanted to take the opportunity, we looked at our own data, looked at how many students were taking study halls, and we had some students taking 2 study halls, maybe 3 study halls out of an 8-block, 4x4 block. And it was a lot of downtime for students, and we wanted to create some opportunities for them to explore more options while they were here. And we knew that if we provided them that intentional time that was regularly scheduled every day, they might take more advantage of it. And I am happy to report that that coupled with adding some semester or year-long electives for students to take advantage of, we are finding that this has been extremely successful. So that last point has been already very successful this first year out, which is great. So the way that our flex block works is Monday students have an anchor day. During this anchor day, students are required to take a look at what their grades are, where they stand academically, maybe if they have any outstanding work, or they need some help in a particular area based on their recent experiences with classes or assignments, and really to schedule themselves. So we're putting the onus on the students and the responsibility on the students with some guidance, of course, from the anchor block teacher, to select an option that makes sense for them to focus on during the days Tuesday through Friday. So that's 1 half hour that they have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday to meet with their teachers, catch up on work. They can even, some students will even schedule spaces to go together collectively with students to complete group projects and things like that. So that's the goal of the Monday anchor day. And also they get to meet with the same teacher, and they'll have that same teacher all 4 years. So it kind of serves almost like as somewhat of an advisory or a connection to a trusted adult in the building that they can meet with regularly as well. So when we were rolling this out, this was one of the questions that came up when we were doing the work from students and staff. What if a student doesn't need help or support? There might have been a little bit of a misconception. What if these students are all honors kids and AP kids? And we find that those students need just as much work as any other student. They're taking really challenging caseloads. They, have a lot on their plates. They're heavily involved in a multitude of things. So do all students. So they can use that time as a directed study hall, and it does qualify as a directed study hall in the frameworks of DESE because they're connecting and they're doing that work with one of their academic teachers. Oh, and one of the bullets did mention they do have an option to come to this resource here in the library to access either the makerspace or the library. It's limited to 60 students. It's a first come, first served basis, so that's also another option for students to use. So they reflect on what they need, and I'll get into a little bit more about Before the Bells, but on Monday they do have a special Before the Bells feature story. And then Tuesday through Friday, they report to where they've either signed up. However, a teacher can also pull in a student. So I've had many teachers pull in students that they know might have missed something or might need a little bit more support. So teachers are also able to pull in students and lock them in. So sometimes when students are scheduling themselves, they'll see that the only things they can schedule might be Tuesday and Thursday because they've been pulled in and locked in on Wednesday and Friday. So teachers can pull them in and lock them in if they want to pull them in. A lot of times that also involves a conversation. A teacher might say, Billy, I'm pulling you in on Thursday because I really think you need some clarification on X, Y, or Z. So those types of conversations are happening, and planning is happening as well on the teacher end. So one of the tools that we're using to schedule is MyFlex Learning. MyFlex Learning is actually a scheduling tool that a lot of schools around us are using. It's a tool that I used in the previous district. It's super user-friendly. I will say this, it's incredibly helpful in a school that uses Aspen. Having used it in a school where we had private school, they didn't communicate. So it was truly just a scheduling platform. But MyFlex Learning is so much more than that. It actually aligns with Aspen in a way where it brings in the information. So the students don't have to go to multiple places to see what they need. They log into MyFlex Learning, they're able to pull up their schedule, they're able to click on their grades and see all of their current grades as well. So it's not like we have to look in Aspen and then go to MyFlex Learning. It's when they're going to the scheduling tool. The scheduling tool has the current grades. Their scheduling tool also can accommodate and communicate to teachers whether the student for that day is marked present or absent, and it also communicates back to Aspen with that information as well. So it's super, super user-friendly. Some of the key features to MyFlex, which we absolutely love so far, is that it can automatically schedule unscheduled students. So if a student is absent, they can do it from anywhere. If they're, I retold students when we rolled it out, if you have a dentist appointment, you're missing school at that moment, and you know it's time to sign up for MyFlex during the anchor block, you can do it from anywhere. You can do it from your phone, you can do it from your computer, but you can do it from anywhere. So. But if they aren't able to do it or they decide not to, the system will automatically schedule that. And what we love about this, and this was an enhancement that just came out this summer, is it will schedule students first based on their current grade and then based on teacher availability, which we absolutely love. So if the students don't pick a place to go, this program's going to pick them based on their lowest grade first and then go from there. There's also a polarity option. We love this feature. It's for students, let's say if two students really shouldn't be scheduled at the same time together in a particular room, we can keep them away from each other. These are very rare occasions, but they do happen, and we want to make sure that we're providing a safe option for all students. So we do love that feature. You can pull large groups in very quickly. You don't have to go through 1,100 students and pick them and pluck them out. You can actually do it pretty quickly, which accommodates those times when we have large assemblies, guest speakers, special events based on clubs or activities or classes. And another feature that we absolutely love, which is relatively new to MyFlex as well, is if a student's being dismissed, for example, and anyone in the building, so Mr. Howerton, who really monitors the front door and when kids are coming and going, just in regular Aspen, he can pull up Aspen, there's an alert, and it'll tell him exactly where that student's scheduled during Flex Block, which is an awesome feature. And then again, the attendance goes back to Aspen, so we know we are really trying to push it to students and to staff that this is just like any other class. Attendance matters, engagement matters, so that's really helpful as well. This is kind of what it looks like when the MyFlex Learning is available in an app. They can sign in right through Google. It's super user-friendly. They can access it from their phone or their computer. We don't allow phones during Flex Block. So that was one of the questions that came up when we were planning. But they can do it right from their computer. They all have their devices. So.
Good.
Yeah. I just took a screenshot. This is what I would have taken a screenshot of an actual class, but it has student faces on it, so it was a little bit, I didn't want to necessarily put their faces out there, but this is what a teacher sees when they log in, which is awesome because it speaks to Aspen. It actually shows the students' faces, and it'll indicate right away whether they're present or absent. It's awesome. So those first weeks of school, when you're trying to get to know these students, they have their pictures loaded in there as well, which makes it great. The calendar, so if I have them just in my anchor block, I can look at the calendar and see where that student is scheduling themselves. I can see if they schedule themselves or not. I can also, as their anchor block teacher, I can see what their grades are. So I can say, Billy, you might want to take a look at that. That might be a good place for you to go. And those conversations are happening, and it's just super, super helpful for students. Just another watchful eye. This is what students see. So when they log into MyFlex, they can see every single day. But also, it looks very similarly on the teacher side. What we love about MyFlex too is that when teachers are using this, let's say I'm a teacher and I teach a section of geometry and a couple sections of algebra, I can change the names of my Flex blocks to geometry help, algebra help. I can really be distinctive about what that Flex block is, so that when students are signing up, they know exactly what they're signing up for, which is really nice, so they can tailor it. And they can put descriptions, they can even send communications to students in in, in their classes, which is super easy as well. So the other thing I didn't highlight that was on my slide is this year in rolling out using the scheduling tool through MyFlex has been supported by an MEF grant, a very generous MEF grant that we're very lucky to have this year. So this is just information on how students kind of schedule their week. I just kind of wanted to show you some screenshots of what they see in a couple of different views. It's just quick and easy. You can go to the next slide. And again, just, I mentioned this earlier, but if they don't select their classes, and I was in a student during Acre Block, and the student said to me, this is center, like, I picked a couple classes, but I don't know where I want to go for my other ones. It was early on, it was a freshman, they were new, they were little, and they said, I don't mean it in a disrespectful way, but I want to pick the other days, I just want to pick it for me, is that okay? And I said, yes, of course, that's fine. So again, sometimes there are a variety of reasons why students may not schedule themselves if they're not pulled in, but we've had great success already with the rollout. Our guided staff has done workshops on, this week they're doing it on, they're getting ready for the PSAT and getting them onto Blue Book. They've called in seniors, those are the juniors, they've called in seniors to talk to them about the Common App and the college application process. They've been doing small group meetings with students in their caseload, and they have hit the ground running. So I just want to give a shout out to our guidance department because they had taken this and run with it for sure. I think it just
Just in the nick of time.
Superintendent Sam.
No, I was going to say, this is what Myra.
One of the things that came out, I just want to say, side note, I remember when we were first rolling this out, there was a little bit of concern from staff, like, well, we have math, we have math lab, we have writing lab, we do all these things for kids. Now we're doing another thing for kids. We want kids to take ownership. And I said, well, when it's rolled out, you're going to see kids will take ownership. They're making those decisions. You can pull them in, but they're actually engaging in the process, and that's part of it. Is every Monday is almost a goal-setting day, which is incredibly important to teach students to really think about the week ahead, to assess where they are, and really take it all in and make a plan. Those things are so important, and we are finding that the majority of our students are engaging in that process. So one of the things that came up, it was funny, somebody had reached out to me, this is last year when this was in its infancy. There was this rumor going around that because we were replacing replacing homeroom with Flax Block, that before the bells, Siemens Center's throwing it out. And that was not the case. In fact, it's actually created some nice enhancements to Before the Bells. So before, our homeroom was about 14 minutes. By the time they'd air it and kind of get off, it was about 10 minutes a day. So they were short spurts. What this is doing is on the anchor day, they're going live for a full and professional 30-minute news show, just like you would see on the news, which is kind of cool. They never had the opportunity to run a real formal live news-like segment, if you will. So that's something that the students and their teacher are having rolling out. So that's kind of exciting. They're excited about having a longer period of time. The other thing is Tuesday through Friday, we added 5 minutes every day. So now it's attached to first block. So at the end of first block, thanks to Dave Cockmorn, all of the TVs come on automatically to Before the Bells, and they have a captive audience. Whereas before the Bells was being pushed out during homeroom, kids were everywhere. They were already scrambling to see teachers and connect with teachers in the 14 minutes. Now they're getting the Before the Bells Tuesday through Friday, right at the end of their first block. So they're still in their math class, and it's a captured audience watching this 5-minute segment. We've removed some of the other things that to make it, to give that 5 minutes, that work quality piece. So we're hitting off the ground running in the morning with the Pledge of Allegiance rather than them having to say it every day. We're pushing out all of our student announcements through Canvas every morning so that the students aren't announcing the same announcements, kind of taking up with that, if you will, so that they're able to report out on the things that are happening throughout the week in a real meaningful way. So it's been a nice
a nice little.
So, I debated whether to bring students and staff, and others from staff in the audience who might want to speak to this, but I did make a very, I didn't mean this to be this long, I'm sorry, but I did make just a really short iMovie. If you click here to see short video, just to have some testimonials, so you can hear from our students and staff, and I did not tell them what to say.
So I think FlexBlock is beneficial. Both my adults and freshmen we can work on homework, preparing for reading quizzes. And 7th grade signed up for today, so it's nice to be able to get a smaller group together to be able to work, help and pass individual as much as they can.
Hi, I'm Giselle Silvera. I'm a senior, and I think the FlexBlock is really beneficial because having extra time helps. Hi, I'm Kira McDonald. I'm a senior, and I really like the FlexBlock because it gives me like an extra study to get my work done. Hi, I'm Olivia, and I'm a senior, and I like the FlexBlock because it gives me time to meet my teachers and my test.
My name is Ethel. I'm a senior, and last week I was out of school, and FlexBlock helped me get back on my work.
My name is Jack. I'm also a senior, and FlexBlock is good before the test, so you can get to know like what you're being tested on.
Great.
My name is Will Lewis. I'm a senior, and FlexBlock is great for catching up on work if you're behind in any class and just getting the job done.
Hi, I'm Laura Rose. I teach science at high school. I was on the FlexBlock committee last year, and after having it here this year, I actually really like having it to give students extra time to work with me, making up a lab. Well, I have a student that just transferred in, and now he has time to make up the work.
I like FlexBlock because I have like extra time to do our homework, so we don't have to stay after school as much. It's really nice because with clubs and activities, there's not a lot of time to do things, so not having to stay after school is a lot better to go and have questions with teachers. It's easier on them too. FlexBlock's been really positive. I think the students and staff, in my experience, have been able to pull students in who need the actual support, and students are able to kind of self-advocate and put themselves in my class whenever they need to.
I think that it's good that the students think during the what do I need help in, what am I behind in, like taking that moment to think about their classes and what they asked for, like having that, I think is been very beneficial.
Just a few testimonials. And note to self, I think iMovie at the turn sideways, and I clearly was cutting off on the head, so. So the Flex Committee will continue to work throughout this year. We have, we're meeting this week. We have a survey that we're finalizing to students and staff so that we can get collective feedback, and that will be used to drive the work moving forward. I've already heard from many people some ideas of things that they'd like to do moving forward, using student tutors and doing all kinds of cool extensions. So we look forward to the work to come. So that is the end of the spot.
Awesome. Any questions or comments?
I have comments that I can't help myself. I just gotta say about the peer tutoring thing, that sounds like a great way to use it. But just two quick things. One is, I think the opportunity to have the guidance department be able to do exactly what you're saying and doing so far this year is great. I mean, it seemed like there was some need for more opportunity for them to be able to meet with kids on a regular basis and get the programs out to the grades as a whole. And just as a personal note, my son was out last week for a medical procedure, and he has a regular schedule. There was a lot of anxiety being out for it, and he came back like second day back to school and was like, that was awesome. I scheduled 7 FlexBlock, I made up 2 quizzes already, I feel like I'm right on track, everything else. So I was like, well, that really worked. You know, he wouldn't have been available after school, and so that was really helpful. So, you know, I don't think any program is perfect, so I'm sure there's some growing pains. You know, my freshman has a little different take on it, but it's working fine. So yeah, thank you. I like to give the update.
I'll say something just so it doesn't seem, again, disinterested, but I'm on the high school council, so
Yep.
I already asked a little many questions.
Okay, yep.
When they were going through the process.
Oh, yeah.
Any had questions?
Any questions?
I'm sure.
Yeah,
go please.
One, this is fantastic, and I love the Monday kind of like planning out the week. I think as an adult, that's what I tend to do on a Sunday or Monday is like look ahead try to teach my own kids to do that. One question I have is, for students that have an IEP that might have like out-of-class services, are those services happening during the flex block?
So there is some strategic pairing that has taken place at the request of parents and the team, where their anchor block is with, their special education liaison or one of their teachers. So that has been happening. It's one of the things that we're looking at evolving. I've been talking to Amy and Aaron Wigan, our department chair, about how we can evolve that in a more meaningful way. But we also want to give them the opportunity too to see multiple teachers as well. So to answer your question, there definitely are some scenarios that we've enhanced for students who are here. Yeah.
I think it's great. I'm curious to see when the YRBS comes around, if it improves any connection with the kids to adults in the building.
Yeah.
I'll be curious to see that data.
And the scheduling, we often identify their biggest stressor.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see how this affects that.
Time has been consistently the biggest.
Yeah.
For lack thereof.
I want to say, 'cause it's all well said, and I won't belabor the point, but I want to say thank you for including 3 students on your committee and highlighting the fact that you incorporated student voice into coming up with this. Obviously, we take that very seriously here at Marshfield Public Schools, so the fact that you put your money where your mouth is and had those students as part of the conversation, and clearly a big part of the conversation, is a really good thing. So thank you very much. Do you have anything like that?
No, I'm very happy to see it all coming to fruition. It was just a lot of hard work by Principal Senator and that team. Did yeoman's work to get it off the ground. And, there's the whole scheduling component of it is, that's where we are getting it off the ground. And then now just refining it and making sure that it's as high quality of experience as it possibly can be within that. Just offers so much opportunity for a multitude of things, MTSS help, activities that may not be able to happen during the school day, connection with adults has been focused on planning, teaching that skill. So it has great potential, and I'm excited to see it grow.
Awesome. Thank you very much for the set. Much appreciated. I'm going to move some things around on the agenda and just very quickly want to run through this with people. I don't think we have our student representatives here today.
No, that is an update. So, it's in the works, and so hopefully we'll have someone, if not our student representative or representatives, either by next meeting or the meeting after, for sure.
Great. And thank you again for the work that you're doing on getting that to a little bit of a different method than we've done in the past. I think it's really good to see. So I'm looking forward to that. We're going to move informational to the end. Are there any subcommittee reports at this time?
Do you want to go?
Well, we just had an update from the athletic budget subcommittee that we're gathering some more data so that we can make sure that we have what we need to make the most effective decision possible. So there's a slight delay, but we're continuing to move forward on it.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah, I just want to add to that. I think we discussed it. I'd like to have all of that done no later than the end of this month. Right, so the first.
I'm assuming you've communicated that to Mr. Bass. Great. Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr.
Yeah, it's been communicated, and then, if it comes in sooner, then we can act sooner. We have no intention of acting prior to the decision of that.
Great. Thank you. Thank you both very much for your continued work on that. I'm going to do public participation, then the NEA update, and then I'm going to take the folks who are actually here for their items out of order before we move to the items where nobody is here. So I'll do Fred first because you've been here for a bit after I do public comment. I'll do Fred's been here since like 6, so I want to get you out of here, Fred. And then I'll take Paula for the trip approval, and then I know we have another trip approval coach. I'll take you then, and that'll kind of flow nicely into Mr. Bass having 2 items right in a row, if that works for you folks. So if anybody in the public wishes to address the meeting, now is the point for public participation. Come on up, Kate.
Good evening, my name is Kate Cave. I'm going to read from this because I don't know public speaking. For those who do not know me, I am a parent to a junior and freshman at Marshfield High School, along with the 2025 graduate. I'm here tonight to speak about the MHS dance team, of which my junior Kylie is one of the captains. I am incredibly disappointed in the way the dance team has been treated this year. In the Marshfield Matters newsletter, MPSD continues to feature their pillars and strategic objectives, the first of which is equity, belonging, and wellness. This year, the dance team has been made to feel excluded from the school community by their demotion from the sideline of home football games to the stands due to the larger number of cheerleaders this year. Making this even worse is the fact that it was only communicated hours before the first home game. Wanting to give a bit of time to speak rationally rather than emotionally, I sent an email a couple days after the game to Mr. Batters, Ms. Sedner, both assistant principals at MHS, Dr. Sullivan and Dr. Martin. I did send a copy of this to the school committee as well to make them aware of the situation. The only person who responded to my email was Mr. Batters. Thank you. I responded to his email CCing all of the above, and again, he was the only one to respond to my email. I am incredibly overwhelmed by the lack of communication from MHS and MPSD administration. I understand that sideline safety is important. I always try to see both sides of situations. The football team is very large, and the cheerleading team is larger this year than in past years. However, there is room for compromise on this issue without punishing the dance team. And that's how the girls feel. It is important to note that both of the home games so far this season, there have been anywhere from 6 to 9 water boys on the sideline as well. These are elementary and middle school students who absolutely should not be given sideline priority over actual MHS students with historical precedence of being on the sidelines. By removing dance from the sidelines, the opportunity to participate has been taken away from several of the girls who have purchased uniforms, attended practices, and attended dance camp over the summer. Not all of the girls perform in every halftime dance due to varying abilities of the dancers. They are made aware of this participation level before committing to the team, however. By making the sideline decision now, just literally hours before the first home game, you gave the dance team no ability to restructure to keep the team limited to just those who will perform in halftime routines. Sitting in the stands is not the experience expectation presented to the girls when they decided to join the team in June. Having the rug pulled out from underneath them at the last minute is an absolutely unacceptable way for the school to treat students at MHS. Telling them they are beneath the cheer team is appalling, and I know that not everyone sees it this way, but this is how the girls feel it. The time for this conversation should have been last May, and the girls should have been given full transparency of what the dance team experience would be. These girls have gone from 4 full home games worth of performing to about 10 minutes of performing collectively across the 4 games. There was zero reason why the girls would have anticipated the situation when they've always been on the sidelines interacting with the student section. There's room for compromise in the situation, and I'm unsure why no one from MHS is willing to even consider doing so. Rotating which team is on the field every quarter or half is an option. Setting a cap on the number of members from each team allowed on the field at any given time is an option. Allowing each team to have half of their team on the field for the first half and the second half of their team on the field for the second half is an option. There are ways to make the girls on both teams feel included. I asked that the school administration find a solution where the compromise favored both teams for the remaining 2 games. The October 17th game is senior day, in addition to being homecoming. The dance team has 6 seniors who we will be celebrating that day. Cheer actually has 0 seniors this year. These seniors really deserve to be dancing on the sidelines for that game. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other members of the public here who wish to address the committee? Okay, seeing none, we have our MEA update. Mr. Ring.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Again, thank you for your time. Great welcome back. So good evening, everyone. Thank you, as always, for the MEA time on today's agenda. For our first above and beyond report of the new school year, thrilled to shout out Amelia Bielek, special education teacher here at Marshfield High School. MHS Building Representative Matt Mello writes in his Bielek, quote, "Amelia is a true gem and a valuable partner in the classroom, whether co-teaching during the year or working with extended year students in the summer. She brings professionalism, creativity, and a genuine joy for teaching. Genuine for teaching that shines through every day. She takes initiative, anticipating upcoming lessons, reformatting material for accessibility, creating supplemental resources that ensure all students can succeed. Her strong knowledge of IEP accommodations, coupled with her ability to clarify notes, highlight key content, and rephrase instructions, makes learning more engaging and approachable for every student. Students adore Amelia for her kindness, patience, and calm redirection, while colleagues respect her for her enthusiasm, work ethic, and collaborative spirit. She keeps the classroom running smoothly, circulating, supporting, and encouraging students, while always appreciating their individuality. Amelia embodies what it means to be a true professional and partner in education. We're very grateful that for all that she brings to our school community." End quote. Amelia is an exemplar of the invaluable contribution made by special education teachers throughout Marshfield Public Schools. We look forward to working with the school committee and the district administration to ensure that promising educators like Amelia are recruited to Marshfield, stay in Marshfield, and that the veteran educators who they work for and who they look to for guidance have the time, resources, and encouragement to pass along their expertise to new staff and eager students for years to come. Thank you again for the time on tonight's agenda to brag about my comment.
Thank you very much, Mr. Raymond.
Thank you.
Much appreciated. Okay, Mr. Russell, the time is now.
I'm not a good public speaker.
No, it's great. Every year, I like it.
Yep.
I would like to say something about Lara, please, if you can for a moment.
Please.
I've been here about 7.5 years, and, I appreciate very much your support of facilities, and I wish you the best, and great thoughts and prayers that you would
Thank you so much.
My name is Fred Ross, I'm a facilities manager, and I'm also a resident of Marshfield Street. Thank you for the opportunity to come to the school committee. Again, to share with you some of the improvements and projects that facilities have been involved in the past year. We have 2 full-time employees, 20 volunteers, assistant manager, and myself, 20 is also a resident. We work closely with day custodians, and they're all top-notch. They do the day-to-day operation, and it's perfect people available. We always advocate for their needs, which is what I like,
It makes your job easier.
Yeah, big time. Yeah, I mean, we do the town side.
Yes.
The day custodians are terrific. We have numerous on-call tradesperson contracts in place that allow us to address any operational needs that arise. These contracts provide licensed and experienced tradespeople. They bring what I call skill of craft. Skill of craft is mechanics have been doing it for 30 years. They know the ins and outs of the latest technology. We take that knowledge and share that knowledge and implement it into the schools. And sometimes they get some unique problems to solve, and they bring that knowledge to the table. It's very helpful. We have over 10 on-call contracts in general contracting, plumbing, electrical, mechanical, floor covering, fence, earth moving, we have an on-call architect, on-call roofing, and on-call pest management. So what I have is a list of some work that we've done, just some high-level stuff. Local schools, Monts Elementary School, of course, we get numerous food police in the school. It got to the point, it's so bad that we had to shrink wrap the skylines, over 60 skylines up there. We do a boat, shrink wrap a boat, we shrink wrap the skylines. Big pictures, all that stuff. We replaced the main office, principal, assistant principal, nurse, flooring. We had a large senior at the bar space to take care of. Numerous fan unit repairs, numerous plumbing repairs, going to cut 40-yard trees. We expected, there's about 45 exhaust fans in lots of roof. It's part of the roof design. You want to know which ones they eliminate. Hopefully they want to eliminate as much as they can if they're obsolete. So only found one was obsolete, and we went through the other ones, so 5 that need work that we had to address in the roof project. We did some IT closet things for the cooling unit repairs, and we did some crawl space ventilation improvements that help with the air circulation in the school. South Road School, we constructed a special needs calm down room. Replaced the main circuit board in the HVAC building management system. Belton Woodslow School, we had numerous boiler and flow unit repairs. We caulked a bunch of leaky windows and kitchen drinks and made the water out. That's important for building envelope, roof siding, keep the water out of the schools. We had numerous plumbing repairs, generator maintenance and repairs. Jeff Grant, Evening Early Education Center. We worked at DBW, they're very helpful with this, is the dead tree up on private properties. Right, gonna come down onto the playground, so it jumped up and took care of that, it was very helpful. Need to operate that septic system there, it's a special system, denitrification system at the early education center because of the water resource protection area. So that's a little more cost and operational cost, but our numbers coming back good. We just got the inspection certificate for the work here. Getting works at school, replaced 30-year-old rugs with vinyl plank flooring in 6 classrooms, and a big improvement down there. The library carpet, we were able to replace that. They could sort of down there, Mike, so every one of the best. He was happy, it so bad we had to take the edges, so we're going to we found one and took care of that. We had a failed domestic hot water tank that turned into a minor, actually a minor claim, it was a big industrial size, domestic hot water tanks. You know, typical expansion tank, heating systems, a basic gas pressure regulating valve, serve pump seeds, air rooms. That's the next school that's gonna be on the radar screen for a new roof, if that's gonna be in Webster. So, placing that in boiler one. They also assisted Irene and her staff with the replacement of the walking pools down there this summer. Furnace Middle School, we repaired the exterior site lights. We had a failed generator transfer switch, we took care of that. We coordinated Tremco and warranty roof repairs. The warranty roof, that roof was replaced when I first got here in 18, 19. And they did about $100,000 worth of warranty type of repairs. You know, we got to push them up. They came forward. They have a thing called trim care. They come out and do an inspection. They were doing that the last couple of years, and they came out and actually implemented over $100,000 worth of repairs at no cost to the school. We saw the water bottle filler and combo unit in the front of the school. Kingsway School, we built a steam condensate pump. For the two, had a lockout issue, we repaired the cafeteria, high gear lights required staging. Installed emergency lighting backs and hallways. The Veterans School Administration Building, we had to repair the elevator catwalk, that certificate was being held up for that, we took care of that. The side door that caught in the wind and the wind gave, the front frame actually broke, so we repaired that. Replaced a large section of the asphalt roofing. We installed walls on a new standby generator, we restarted all the parking spaces, and replaced any faulty, all the exterior outlets that were faulty. High school, we had a light off and breeze protection, exposed heating and cooling piping. We elevated the electronic sign out at 139, up about 2 feet. That sign didn't last long, because it was actually too low, it was sitting in the gallon, sitting in snow and water. So that's one of the things that I can do too, is when we make a repair for a point that had no failure, we mitigate that. We try to mitigate that, so we can get another life out of the components. We expect to repair all the main complex sports features. We expect the gym hoist and wall curtains. And the wastewater treatment plant that's run by the DPW actually takes all the way from all 3 schools in the main complex. And they, that could be a money pit too, because that's basically, we get all the controls and floats. But the good thing about that, the DPW does such a good job running that and maintaining that, that the new permit that we just got last year, the analysis requirement went down from, like, say, at least half. So we saved all the analysis of that, because we've got good numbers. So if we have good numbers, we petition the state and say, you know, we don't, why are we doing all these 3%, they agrees that kind of impact, so we still save it on analysis. Weather process, we're doing an evaluation of the elementary schools' restrooms, just for modernization, if they're overdue. So looking at, standardizing, I like to standardize stuff through schools, so we pick the same expenses, the fixtures, the stalls, pick one that works, and make it sort of develop, we'll chip in and give me their feedbacks, and we'll pick one that's got to be the standard for the that's work much better. Then we also need to identify, the architect, something for this, she's identifying, the money that we're going to need, what kind of money to the program, the capital program, we want to build a roadmap. Pick the worst school first. It seems to be the government, one of those petitions are worst. But decide to pick that, decide to one and do it. That's our goal. The other thing we're working on now is we have an architect and her engineer is the school generator project. The problem we're running into is that to put generators at every school could be very cost prohibitive, because you actually have to build a structure around it. The electrical main gear is not designed to support that. So we're looking at doing a strong connection where for 4 or 5 days of a year we can actually roll up a rented generator and tie them in, not to maintain them. We have to pay for that, but we don't have to maintain them and buy them. So that's kind of she's going to validate that. There's too much infrastructure work to get it done. By putting generators, we have strong connections. That's what we did, like, we stayed down, the carbon street power, generator, and they got some, they got three. It's obviously. I do appreciate everything you guys all support over the years, it makes a difference. And I know, just to decide, when I go to town meeting, and I sit and say, oh, you guys. It's all over my face.
It's not a well-kept secret.
No.
That's great.
Most fun room.
It is. Well, it goes right back to you, so thank you. I mean, you can't educate kids if they're not in a facility that meets basic human needs. So that it, you know, we couldn't do our work, and these folks certainly, and more importantly, these folks couldn't do their work, and Mr. Raymond, Mr. Settler, Mr. Patterson, Coach Conley, all these folks, Dr. Pincello, all these folks couldn't do their work without strong facility work. So thank you very much for that. Anybody have any questions or comments?
I do have one question. You mentioned striping the parking lot.
Right.
Is that something that you guys do like on a yearly basis? And does that include crosswalks that are like inside the school complex?
The DPW is in charge of that. We actually just did around the benches because it was just, it wouldn't go
Yeah.
to that. We're trying to program money with the capital program that not only take care of that,
Yeah.
but also the poor pavement in all the schools. that
Right.
Potholes, so pretty much it's started for the first time now.
Yes.
I mean, I know like if you know, drive down 139, it's, every, at least probably twice a year, their crosswalks have to be redone. So I just didn't know if there was some sort of like maintenance plan for that.
We
for the
wanted
parking.
DPW to do it, but we can look into that.
Oh,
It's
that's
not
good.
that expensive to do that, actually. It's for the cost benefit.
Right.
It's relatively cheap.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I got a quick question. I'm not quite tracking from generators. So all the ones I've installed, it's just package unit or pad, you stick it on the pad, attach it to the switch gear.
Right. Well, actually, now, if you know, the code requirements now, it's if you put the generator in and you want to get the power down, you need to have it, you need to have it. There's no, like the Avery School in particular, you have to build another room to support it,
To support the switch gear?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Switch.
Okay.
And the sub panels that go along with it.
Oh, that's what you're talking about. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought you meant the generator itself.
No, the generator's fine. It's actually the electrical, the interface between the generator and the transfer switch and the main gear, main electrical gear.
Yep.
The code requirements, the spaces we need to all those spaces.
Yep. I'll get it.
Other questions, comments?
All right.
Brett, thank you very much, as always, much appreciated, thank you. Thank you. Our friend Dr. Mincello, I think you have a trip that you'd like to get through. You have 2 trips that you'd like to get through, that's right.
I like one that's called Power Trip.
Yes. That's what Mr. Greer is on. Every year, I do that every year.
Oh, every year. That's the only reason I show up.
Right. Go ahead.
All right, well, I'm back. I feel like every year I'm sitting before you. It goes faster and faster, but yes, so definitely seeking approval to go on 2 trips this year. We find that it's just easier to kind of get permission, and when the registration opens up, we can go right ahead and get the kids registered and booked and save some money on the airlines. And I think it's coming back from all of you guys. So the first trip. Thank you. The first trip is our Power Trip Conference that is going to be in Arlington, Virginia this year. That is taking place over the weekend of November 21st through the 23rd. Power Trip Conference is for our DECA chapter officers, so it's a leadership conference specialized for them, which is really nice. It's a really small, intimate conference that kicks off the school years for student leaders in the DECA organization. And for those of you guys that aren't completely familiar with DECA, DECA is one of the career and technical student organizations recognized nationally. Marshfield has had a very long-standing history of having a chapter. We're actually the 3rd largest chapter in the state. Yes, we keep growing, although this year our numbers are down a little bit. So
how many students do you
So we registered 265 last year. We're at 216 this year. So
how many students are in Marshfield High School?
1066. What's 1066?
So you have over 20%.
I think we might be the same size as NHS. So So we might be.
Over 20% of the school
How
participates.
much is NHS? Do we
That's
know?
unbelievable. That is really great.
251? Okay, so we're about the same size as NHS.
That's
It's unbelievable. It's amazing. So that provides a lot of opportunities for our students for college and career readiness. It really helps focus on their future and getting them prepared for college and the workforce. So this conference, I love the agenda this year. They're really focusing on college and career readiness skills as well as leadership skills and tips and tricks to help chapters grow, succeed, fundraise, and people to, or our students to do better competitively in their events. So we're seeking permission for that. It's about $550 per person to go, and our chapter officers, we have 12 of them this year, and they have been fundraising all summer, getting sponsors from local businesses around the community, and they've done an outstanding job, and I think we are just at about $8,000 raised just off of our local sponsors this year, so which is wonderful. So we've done a really nice job. They've done a really nice job with that. It is a 6-to-1 ratio. So there would be 2, possibly 3 chaperones going. If everybody needs to go, we usually take the school nurse with us on one of those as well. So the way it works is we sign them up. National DECA takes care of the hotels and their registration, and obviously we set up transportation for the students to get back and forth. Usually this one's a small conference in a small group, so parents usually are the ones bringing students to the airport. We tend to carpool quite a bit. And then we arrange transportation on the other side shelves to pick us up and bring us to the hotel, and everything is in a hotel convention center. And the nice thing about DC is really walkable, so we can get around and see the sites if we have any downtime. So that is in November. And then just forward planning to our international competition, which is in April this year. It's at the end of April vacation. It's April 25th through the 29th. That is taking place in Atlanta, Georgia this year. So it rotates every few years, so we're back to Atlanta. The past 8 years that I've been here, we've taken anywhere between 12 to 18 students that typically tend to qualify for our international competition, which is really nice. And so the students would be missing 4 days of school on that, just because unfortunately it's a national conference. Actually it's international at this point. So it's at the tail end of April vacation. So they would miss a few days of school. It's about $1,200 a person, which is a little expensive, but the students have a lot of opportunities to fundraise throughout the school year through, selling raffle tickets for chances, candy bars. We did a year-round fundraiser, so thank you guys to anybody that participated in that. We stocked and did 1,700 eggs around the Marshfield community last year for Easter. That was a great fundraiser for us and really helped cut the cost down. Depending upon the amount of students we have either provided transportation as a chapter to get us to and from the airport on both ends, or sometimes parents will drop us off and pick us up. And again, National DECA will assign the hotel, and everything is usually the walking distance of the convention center, where they'll have a busing transportation system. So everything is well organized and taken care of on the National DECA end. Hopefully we have really strong numbers this year. We have a lot of students qualify to represent Marshfield at the international level. So
that's great.
yeah, really exciting.
Mr. Greer.
Yeah, question. So I guess going to the Power Trek first one, the way I read this is
Yes.
100% funded, it's free to the students.
Correct.
Okay. So moving on to the Atlanta trip.
Yes.
Are there any further reduced students going, and if so, how is that going to be funded?
So we take care of that through our normal fundraising efforts through DECA. So we have raised funds through, obviously, the sales that we have through our school store. We have our shop local fundraiser night. Students host a variety of fundraisers throughout the school year as a group and individually to cut those costs down. So I know that can be expensive. But we don't want that to be a burden or prohibit any student from not being able to attend just because they can't afford to go.
So for immigrants will be covered.
Correct, 100%, absolutely.
I asked them for everything.
Yes, and actually been growing in state conferences for districts and states, we always take care of any students, we don't want to leave anybody
I
behind.
know the tech was expensive.
Yes, it is it's an expensive sport.
But you also have the closet available too for the clothing.
Thank you, yes, we do. Massachusetts DECA has what's called the DECA closet. It is a large room that is available to students to go through. It's housed at Bunker Hill Community College. We actually have a small closet here at the high school as well. And for students that need business attire, ties, blazers, things along those lines, we have that all available.
Do you take donations?
We do.
Okay, I have some old suits.
Oh,
that
good
are
luck.
in very nice condition.
That would be lovely, yes. You can drop them off on cheap. That'd be great.
That's really cool.
Yes.
Yes. Makes sense.
It's bad, it's sad.
That's awesome. Okay, any other questions or comments?
We're moving this in separate motions.
These do need to be separate motions, as they're two separate
We'll
trips.
take the power
Take the
trip.
power trip first. Mr. Greer's got a motion for the power trip. Mr. Greer's made a motion to be on a power trip from November 21st to the 23rd, 2025. Is there a second?
Second.
Second to Mrs. Dargan. All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand, saying aye. Aye. Opposed, abstaining. Thank you very much. Have fun on the power trip. And then the second trip would be the ICDC trip in Atlanta, Georgia, from April 25th to the 29th, 2026, which is amazing. We're talking about 2026. Is there a motion? So moved. It was Stetson. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Stark. All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand, saying aye. Aye. Opposed, abstaining. Unanimous votes on both. Have a great time. Tell us how.
I'll get one more plug for you. I volunteered to be a judge here last year, and my dad went and volunteered at the regional competition as a judge, and both of us enjoyed it so much. So if anyone's available during that time to get to interact with the kids and see how awesome they are presenting and having a conversation and working together, it's just really, really fun.
Yeah, please continue to keep us
We
updated.
will send an email invitation out from Mock Comp here, and then also the district competition too, which is January 6th and 7th at Quincy County Competition.
Awesome.
Thank you guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Michello.
Thank you.
Good luck. Okay, Coach Connolly, I'm sorry to keep you.
Thank you for having us. I'd like to say too, I couldn't say it earlier just because the emotions in the room, but I had the pleasure of knowing Spring for well over 25 years, which is amazing because you're so young. And can't pick the wrong person and take on you because Mr. Gray mentioned your tenacity. And I've got to see it firsthand. I've known you for a long time. You've taught me more than I've taught you. So, Lauren, when I say my prayers at night, you know, I'm a person with great faith. You're going to get through this one. You know, I've heard people from you for a long time. So, I'm with you all the way. It's, all these people are so before. So, I'm with you. You're the best. You really are.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you. So I do apologize. We probably should be coming every year. Sorry, Coach. I think we're going to be every other year schedule. What we were, but I think, no, not last year, the year before, Dan Webster. So this is a trip that the hockey team has taken for the past, should this be 5 years? Yeah, this should be the 5th year. And I think it's just, you know, when I heard Dr. Michello, which is great, my great deal just here locally for the DECA program. It just is great to give our students the opportunity to experience different things during the high school, careers. This is an athletic trip, obviously with Dr. Michello. She does a great job with DECA in the program. The numbers have grown. I remember when we first got DECA here, we were in single digits. You know, Dr. Sullivan was probably here teaching at the time as well. And I think with Coach Conley's hockey program, it just speaks to the volume of the students that come up with the team. It's a very competitive team. Obviously, we've chosen to stay in Division I. It's your testament to you and your coaching staff and to the players who played in, and just want to be a part of the next great team that we've come through. Two state championships under your belt, and obviously every year it's a very competitive team. But I think trips like this allow students to have a little bit more responsibility. They go down. It's the first weekend of tryouts. That we go down, which we can probably the 6th and 7th of December this week, excuse me, to go to Connecticut to play a game in Connecticut, then play a game in Marlboro. Coach can tell you all about that. But I just think for the players that have gone, starting their son is taking the trip as well too. I just think it gives them a sense of community, commitment to the program, and obviously just understanding what lies ahead. I know you guys do team meals and everything like that. I think that's just a big part of what what high school should be about. And spending time with your team, spending time with your coaches, and if I had a son, I can't imagine a coach going to learn something, not just the game of hockey, but more about being a young adult and the things he's supposed to do as a young adult. So, I'm going to go with the coach.
Thanks, Billy. First off, I'll just keep it simple. You should not live with us. This trip, as Billy said, 5 years. It's a little bit more than just hockey. It's a team bonding, team building exercise. We go down on a Saturday, leave on a bus, arrive down in Tarrant, Connecticut, get a meal, check in the hotel, play the game, and the team goes back and has another meal. We do team building activities at night, in rooms by 9 o'clock. Up the next day, we travel to Marshfield for another game, and get back to Marshfield. So we're really gone about 35 hours for the weekend. And as Billy said, it's hockey, right? Team building. And it's also giving the kids another experience that they don't have every day in high school in comparison to other programs around us. I always try to make our program something better than everything around us, put our kids in a different light. And it gives them a little responsibility. We're in that Marshfield and out of the state. They have to be on the best behavior. They can be recognized. We try to put a little ownership on them and help them mature up a little bit. That's all I have. Any questions? I'm willing to answer it.
Yeah, how is this being funded?
We do a lot of fundraising, which I think our program does. We run a big golf tournament and that helps fund a lot of this trip for the kids, the majority of it.
So it's not coming out of the athletic budget?
No, nothing out of the school fund.
We're in a committee, yeah.
Any other questions, comments? How long have you been coaching here, just out of curiosity?
As a head coach, this is 27th year.
Wow, okay. I was going to say, because I know since I've been in high school, you've been coaching.
A long time.
That says a lot about you and the program. I mean, it's a wonderful program, so thank you for all you do. If there's no other questions, motion to approve the trip has been made by Mr. Greer, second by Ms. Darkin. All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand saying aye. Aye. Opposed, abstaining. Have fun.
Thank you.
Good luck. Appreciate it.
Do not lose in Connecticut.
Next time you Dragon, they won the state title there last year.
But it's Connecticut.
No
offense.
Thank you.
Yes. Yeah, they won it all.
It's one thing.
So that's three gentlemen. Thank you.
Thanks again for sticking with us. No problem.
Thank you. Thanks. Sorry for keeping you all night, Coach.
All right. We have a few other items on the agenda. I'm going to go through just a couple of them really quickly. I think two of them will be rather quick. I'll start with the superintendent's evaluation. I would like to thank the committee for sending me your evaluation sheets and your comments. I am taking all of those and compiling the comments themselves into the summative evaluation, but I am ready to share with you folks tonight that Dr. Sullivan in his first year here is receiving a proficient rating overall, which is a testament to your hard work. There's many comments that I will highlight for you at our next meeting when we will have an executive session scheduled as well to discuss the subject of compensation in keeping with that evaluation, which is what we do on an annual basis when we fulfill the evaluation. But I will just share that there were many, many comments that highlight your strong instructional leadership and everything that you bring to the table with that. So very excited for you to see the comments. There's, as always, there's areas that we would like to continue to work with you on, and we hope that you'll continue to work with us on, and that we'll all better each other on. Those areas are always going to be there. I don't think our previous superintendent ever received anything higher than proficient till his retirement year. So it's always good stuff. Trust me, this is not an easy jury of folks here, and you're proficient. Says a lot about the job that you're doing. So we appreciate it. Thank you. So I will have that summative for you folks at the next meeting, but very happy to share that based on all of you. Actually, every single school committee member qualified 5 out of 5 proficient. So, thank you. I'm going to take next the school committee, subcommittees, and liaisons. And I'm just going to share with you, I switched some things up this year. I don't know if the latest version is in your folder. So I'll read it to you.
I think it is.
Oh, it is? I'm sorry.
PDF, is on the second, has highlighted on it.
This one does not have highlighting.
Which one is it? Is it today on the 14th?
Yes, that would be that. So, as you folks know, we have started a new process this year with our subcommittees based on your consent to appoint chairs of subcommittees, and these folks would be responsible for scheduling the meetings of subcommittees. Everybody on the committee serves on 3 subcommittees. Capital Budget Facilities and Ball Fields is going to be chaired by Ms. Dargan, along with Mr. Greer as another member of that committee. The Operational Budget Subcommittee is going to be chaired by Ms. Braden, and we'll have Ms. Stetson on that committee. Contract Negotiations is going to be chaired by Mr. Greer, with Ms. Dargan on the committee. I will chair the Policy Subcommittee, and I've placed Ms. Dargan on that committee with me. The Safety Committee will be chaired by Ms. Stetson, and that will be with Ms. Braden. The Transportation Committee will be chaired by Ms. Braden, along with Mr. Greer. And the Superintendent Evaluation Subcommittee, which all 4 of you asked me to, quote, not place you on.
Nothing against you.
Will by default be chaired by myself, and Ms. Stetson, you drew the short stick on that one, but I'll chair that one. Yes, you
In my defense, it is because I have to do something
She
similar.
does, yes. Everybody has a good reason why. It's not.
I don't take that.
It's a lot of work, the evaluation.
It is a lot of work.
Yep.
They make it a lot of work.
Yep, so I will chair that subcommittee, and Ms. Stetson and I will gladly take on that challenge. Yes, Mr. Greer.
Oh, this is kind of jumping ahead. Capital projects.
Oh, you're absolutely right. So capital projects, you're our liaison to capital projects. We just haven't formalized that on this sheet, but we should do that. So I'm going to add that to the sheet, and I'll ask for a motion. If folks are okay with that, then I'll use a vote for or against the motion. I'll ask for, yes, to have it as amended, but first I'll ask for a motion to add that to the vote. So moved from Ms. Stetson. Is there a second? Second from Ms. Brake. All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand, saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstaining? Okay, so we're going to add capital projects, and our liaison to that would be Mr. Greer. Thank you for the reminder on that, Mr. Greer. I will serve as the legislative liaison. Ms. Stetson will serve on the Wellness Committee. Ms. Dargan will be the representative to the Belonging Team. Very quickly, I know that last session, just as a point for folks, we had 2 members on the Belonging Team. Just so folks know, if we have 2 members as liaisons, it's actually legally supposed to be classified as a subcommittee, at which point the Belonging Team would need to post meetings at least 48 hours in advance, keep minutes, and be open to the general public, which is fine. I mean, there's obviously no secretive work being done there, but there's certain things that just don't need to be subcommittees of the school committee. So we're just going to have 1 liaison to that body. The Labor Management Committee, Mr. Greer, I placed you on that in an effort to get Ms. Brake on some things, because you have like 6 things that you were liaison to. Safe Schools Initiative, though, is still you. Sick Leave Bank would be Dr. Sullivan and Mr. Greer. CPAC is still Ms. Stetson. The MEF is still Ms. Dargan. South Shore Collaborative is still you, Dr. Sullivan. And Ms. Stetson, you are still our Pilgrim Area Collaborative liaison, as you are the chair currently of that one. Hey, that's excellent. But that's how she evaluates the director of the PAC. And then school council, Ms. Dargan, I took what you said to heart a little bit and said this was like a really good opportunity for us to get involved with schools that we don't typically get involved with. So I kind of tried to think outside the box a little bit. I did keep you on Marshfield High School because I know your scheduling needs for that. Ms. Stetson, I did keep you on Furnace Road. But then I moved us around. I put you on Danny Webster. I hope that's okay. I also kept you on Governor Winslow. If you would like, if you need to, I will take one of those from you, especially with the treatments if there's something that you need.
I'm happy to take another one too.
Okay, great. Ms. Stetson, I placed you on Ames Way. I'm going to take Martinson. And Ms. Dargan, I put you on South River.
Just one question, comment, more of a comment. so I mean, my feeling is somebody should be at the high school ones, for some reason I can tell that before.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, we should have.
Yeah, so
Yeah, we
especially
talked
because we're
about last
non-voting
year.
members. You know, we're
Right, yeah.
non-voting members of school councils, and this is something I need to just work with you, maybe to put together a message to the principals, so they know that we're not voting members.
We can add that. I'm meeting
I never
with
voted.
Excellent, okay, awesome.
I never voted.
Good, yeah. So there's just some confusion about whether or not we're voting members.
Okay.
So I think just clarification is a good thing to say,
Okay.
that we're just liaisons. So those are the assignments. If anybody has anything that you're like disappointed with on that, or something that you would like to change, or, you know, Ms. Dargan, you say you'd be happy to take on two, and if you don't want two school councils and you want to take one on, I mean, we can discuss that now and just change the assignments. It's up to you guys.
It's part of the policy of the school council, so I just want to make sure that the high schools are complying with that policy.
That school.
Right.
As far as composition.
Oh, yes.
And we do have specific language.
It's specific for the high school.
Yes.
Yeah, no,
The high school has to have a specific split. Yeah. Well, actually, every school council has to have a specific split.
Yeah, but
It's because it says secondary.
Right.
No, we do have, there was a cutout in the division policy a year or two ago.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Yep, I know. So he's speaking about diverse groups. We incorporated in our policy that there needs to be a special consideration given to diverse groups in terms of representation on the school councils.
No, gotcha, okay. Yep, yeah, so I guess it.
Yep.
I actually would like to propose that we put together some sort of schedule of when we have these meetings.
Okay. So, the school council?
No, the subcommittee meetings.
Okay, so the subcommittee meetings, so the subcommittees are the liaisons?
We don't schedule liaison meetings, right?
Correct, so that's.
Liaisons when you're joining like an administrative meeting.
Right.
Okay, well then we need to be notified
Yes.
because that hasn't always happened in the past.
Yes. I figured.
And before the day before.
Yep.
Tom, can you ping the OPM for the Martinson roof? Is that, can you ping the OPM for the Martinson roof and just make sure that the first read?
But to Laura's point, you know, for the subcommittees, especially ones that are involved in budget, creation of contract, I think in the past, we haven't had a lot of meetings when we talk about last meeting. As chairs, we're scheduling, we're setting agendas, so.
Yes, this is all in an effort to do exactly that, right? It's to streamline the process. And
Wait,
to-
is that what I just said?
Yeah, no, we're.
Oh, okay, you're thinking,
supporting.
okay, okay, I was like,
Yes,
wait, what?
yes,
It's the
yes,
conversation.
okay.
Okay, I'm really tired.
You're good.
Okay.
Definitely. Yep.
Yeah, right.
Watch out.
No, so you're both right.
Okay.
So that's what.
Obviously.
Yeah, that's what the subcommittee chairs will now do, is the subcommittee chairs will receive direction from the school committee that an issue should be kicked down to them. So for example, something on a future agenda item is going to be our discussion on safety policy, and in conjunction with the MEA, and that's going to come from this committee at our next meeting to have a vote to send the policy subcommittee, myself and Mrs. Dargan, the directive to hold a subcommittee meeting to come up with recommendations on our safety policies. We then hold that subcommittee meeting. The subcommittee has no power other than recommending something to the full school committee. So the subcommittee then recommends to the school committee. But so when the school committee charges the subcommittee with doing that, the chair of the subcommittee then sets the date. It's fine. You'll love it.
Sounds like it.
Yep. Any questions on any of those assignments? Is there a motion to approve the subcommittee assignments as amended? So moved, Ms. Stetson. Is there a second? Second, Ms. Dargan. All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand, saying aye. Aye. Opposed, abstaining, 5-0-0. Very much, folks. Okay, those were the quick ones. Mr. Bettis. We will go on and do, these are just two longer conversations, so I think we can save these to the end, but we can do the coach's handbook, and I'll turn it over to you.
Okay, I'd like to thank Ms. Darby, it was great. Principal Sender, Coach Tilly, Coach Conley for their work on the coach's handbook. I think the last, well, it's been many years, I think I've been a coached at Marshfield School for 31 years. I think the last coach's handbook change we had was probably early 2000s. And basically just came from the MIAA, which is about a week and a half of, qualifications, I guess I would say. Where this one really goes much more in depth. I think you've all have a copy of it, correct?
Yes, we do.
So, I think this is basically covers from A to Z, I hope, There's probably things in there that we left out because I don't know how you cover every single experience and situation that arises between a coach, a program, players, all that. So I think it was a really fun piece of work. I think it came up with about 15 pages. And it really does cover everything. I think it really puts us in line to what we want our coaches to be, the expectations clear and precise, and certainly coaches know what their expectations are, and certainly parents, players, school committee members, members of the community will now be aware of it. I did just at our last Patriot League meeting, I did share with a couple of our ADs just to look at it, and they they were quite impressed with we don't have this, and so thanks to our work with the people on that committee. I think we put together a very good set of expectations for all the coaches.
Yeah, when I read through this earlier, it was outstanding. I think it's a long document that is needed, and obviously handbooks fall into the purview of the school committee, so that's why it's before you. We don't need to move on it tonight, though we can if folks have also read through it. I know 2 of you were involved in the formation of it. But if you've read through it and you feel comfortable, I'd be happy to take a motion. Other than that, we could also
Just
discuss.
some comments up front.
Go ahead.
So, I mean, I read it, like any document, right? You got to get it out there first.
Yep.
Right? Kick the tires on it and then revise it. But this document needs to be reviewed on a periodic basis.
Yes.
Not just a one.
Right, we do handbooks on a yearly basis.
Right. So, be prepared to revise. I'm okay with moving forward on it. I think we should, just so we have it in place.
Yep.
But I want this to be like an annual map where we update based on what's.
We can do that with all of our handbooks.
Yeah, we do it. This is certainly a handbook that involves staff and students.
Yeah, because there'll be a situation that nobody can foresee, right?
Absolutely wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
That's all I said. I'm in favor of moving it right now.
Okay. Any other questions, comments?
I just have a comment. I think that, and this is really for Amy and Lily, obviously, that anytime that we do something like this, the information's only good if people are held accountable,
Yes.
right? So I want to make sure that this document is something that everyone is comfortable with and comfortable abiding by it. Because it's no good if we have it and we don't buy it. I know that some of our coaches fall under the teachers, sort of referencing earlier. And I just want to make sure that maybe, I don't know if it would be customary for Ben to look at it or say, you know what I mean? I don't know if the union has anything to say about it, but I just wanted to make sure that we covered that base as well.
That's a good point.
But it is a stipended position.
It's in the contract.
Yeah, it's in the contract, and this is some other job description, right?
Yeah.
And expectations.
Yes. And I just wanted to be clear too that this also involves our volunteer coaches.
Correct.
This isn't just for the stipend position. So anyone that's a volunteer that's working with our students is held to the same standard as the paid employees because they are an extension of the staff at Marshfield High School, and they should be held to that standard as well.
So, the first point, what are you going to do as far as the effectiveness chapter on the document?
So there's a sign-off page, so they're all being responsible. At the end of the year, we always meet with the coaches, go over the good, bad, and the different, And so basically, if there are things that we see in the handbook that people are in violation of, we need to address it. And if it continues, these are all one-year contracts, someone can not renew.
I would recommend that goes to the MEA.
Yeah, that's a great point. That's great. I know we talked about that.
Before you go, you vote on it.
Yeah.
I think, I think it reads as looking at it reads like sort of a manual of best practice, but I still think it should be looked at.
Yeah, we could discuss that, so, we can get that to, Mr. and tomorrow.
That would be great. That's a very well taken suggestion.
Yes.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, kind of take this as a first read, and if
Yep,
anybody has
first
any
read is great.
final-
First read is great. That's appropriate.
Okay.
About the book,
No, no.
I don't want to communicate that. Do you mind if I just make a quick comment? Is that
Yeah,
okay?
go right ahead. Yes.
Is that okay?
That's fine.
Having not seen it, we appreciate that you take a look at it, the kind of thing that, from my knowledge, would potentially need to be impact bargained, but not traditionally. So, and that there could be something to when it's implemented, it's mid-year and a one-year contract or at the end of the year.
Yep.
Those are all could have, wouldas, and shouldas potentially. I just want to be clear that, thank you for that on behalf of the association. It's not spooky to me in itself.
So maybe what we'll do then is we can make sure you get a copy of it, and then once you've had a chance to review it, you can sit down with Dr. Sullivan and whoever else and maybe have the discussion on next steps.
My understanding is that it's not, the athletic handbook is not a new concept. It's not, we've had.
This is the coaches one.
This is a revision of the coaches handbook.
Right.
Was there a coaches handbook?
It was,
Oh.
what page and a half.
So it's a revision of the existing handbook that's been there. So again, I think the language itself, I understand Mr. Raymond's comment for sure, but the language itself should be looked at by the NBA.
Yeah, absolutely. So, great.
And just, sorry, one more thing.
Yeah, please.
We were timeless. I just wanted to let everybody know that I did find out through my work that the school is allowed to make their own rules over and above what the MIAA says.
You mean more stringent rules?
Yes.
Yes.
So I just wanted to make sure that everybody understood that, because I know it's like whenever we put out a new document, there's going to end up being questions from people, and I just wanted to make sure.
When you say that, you're referring to in terms of student eligibility, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Correct, yes.
Eligibility, like our student tied in the money.
Right, yes. Right.
We have that.
Yeah.
Great. Any other questions, comments? Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Betts. I feel like you've been to like every one of our meetings.
I think I've had an invite since June 7th.
Yeah, that's, thank you very much for being here.
Yeah.
Right, yes.
Okay, we have one agenda item left, and then we'll do the informational items.
Quick information.
Yeah.
Perfect. This is the item we're stating.
Yes.
No, we talked about that.
I apologize. Thank you.
We have no presentation.
So this item is the delegate assembly at the MASC annual conference. Yes, so we have two things to discuss on this item. One, we'd be looking for a motion to name somebody as our delegate to the assembly. The other is there's resolutions, and you can choose to look through those resolutions and determine whether or not to give Mr. Greer a directive on how to vote on those. Very quickly.
Wait, if we don't give him a directive, he can vote however he wants.
That's what I had. But
I just want to clarify.
Yes, power trip.
That's his power trip, it's in November.
Well, oddly enough, when I go there, I don't necessarily vote my conscience. I have a good,
He votes how he believes we would.
Yeah.
yeah,
No way.
because I'm there representing the
That is,
community, not myself.
and that is the direction he is given when he is voted into this. But he does it out of the goodness of his heart as well.
Well, some of the things that if you saw me vote, you'd be like, you know, take a freaky Friday.
Yeah. Right.
Rich and I He's like.
Rich starts crying.
Oh, God, it is so painful.
I would like to say something.
So I will say before we enter that discussion, I will not involve myself in any of these conversations because I work full-time for MASC. So because of that, I am going to refrain from voting on taking a position on articles that will therefore govern a board of directors that pays my salary. So I will not be voting on any of these items. I will simply facilitate the conversation.
Well, two separate things, right? One voted on the resolution.
I will also not be voting on you as the liaison.
Okay, well, that doesn't be nominated for.
You would have to be nominated. So moved from Ms. Stetson. Is there a second? Second from Ms. Dargan. All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand, saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, and then all abstaining from that, Ms. Stetson. Okay.
Yeah, just a quick comment. I've read through all of these.
Yes.
I would-
And you love all
I would like feedback from the committee on these.
Okay. That would be wonderful.
Because some of these you could go either way.
Okay. So I'll just read through the resolutions and we can fly through this. This does not have to be a long convoluted thing. I think 1 year, maybe before you were our director of student services, we had like a 45-minute conversation on this, and it was just like, okay, we don't need that. Resolution 1 is removing BMI testing from school. Any questions or comments?
I support that.
You support that. I would need a motion on this, and I can't. The motion would be to support Resolution 1, BMASC.
Well, then, can we just not look at the titles, look at the,
Yes, this conversation is predicated on the belief that everybody here has read through this, because we read through our packet.
no, I just want to vote on the therefore, as opposed to just the title, because the therefore doesn't necessarily align
Yes.
with the title.
Okay, yep, point well taken.
And this one, I don't see a difference, but.
Right, okay. You know, I'm ready to
I'm
take
going
the
to vote
motion.
against, but we're doing four.
Yeah, yes,
Okay.
I'm ready to take a motion and then it's ready to
Can I just clarify, we're voting, you just confused me, right? I feel like it's like the meeting of the OPA.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
for
no,
our
that's,
school choice.
no, that would not be.
So I'm supporting this resolution, it means yes, I want it removed.
Correct.
Okay, thank you. That's very clear.
You can see the end. Therefore, be it resolved that MASC urges the removal of the BMI screening requirement from all public schools. Be it further resolved that MASC urges the express banning of BMI screening in all public schools. That would be what your support.
We can always abstain from this if we don't want to take a position.
Correct. You can. So move from Ms. Stetson. Is there a second? Second from Ms. Dargan. All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand, saying aye. All opposed? And then an abstention. 3-1-1. That passes. That might be our first time ever having 3-1-1. That's interesting.
No, but I'll vote in favor.
Thank you, Rich, thank you.
Yeah. What else? Not much for my fight first,
Reauthorization of previously approved resolutions. I don't think we need to do anything.
Yeah, so we would pass on that.
No, I mean, I don't think you have anything to do on it. Because we've already expressed a vote in the past.
Yes.
Um,
But therefore resolved that the Massachusetts Association of School Committees calls on the political journal report of June of the states.
Oh, I'm sorry, we're talking about two different things.
Oh, yeah, well, I thought you had skipped over that one to the next one.
Okay, yep, I'm on to the next one now. Now we're talking about the same thing. Regarding sanctuary laws for transgender students.
Another abstain.
In order to hold a vote on it, I do need a motion, and that motion would need to be seconded.
I'm questioning my thoughts on rereading the therefore part that we're just talking about. I'm going to abstain.
Okay, so I have two folks who say they're willing to abstain. Does that mean that the other two choose not to make a motion?
No, we just haven't, so when I go there.
You don't have to vote. I'm just looking for your direction on whether or not you are going to make a motion. If you're not going to make a motion, I'll move to the next resolution.
It's not very clear.
So just so like doing math in my head, because I'm abstaining from everything, because we had 2 members abstaining already, that would have indicated that even if you had made a motion, which you have every right to do, it wouldn't have passed. You can still make it if you choose, but after something like that is vocalized, we can.
So when I go there,
So it's silly to read.
As you see, they're submitted by other school committees.
Yeah.
Okay, next resolution is increasing the maximum balance allowed by the Special Education Reserve Fund.
John, do you have anything on this one? Sorry? Do you have anything to say about this one?
It's actually on the warrant for us to establish one at special town meeting, so I'm fine with this. I mean, it's 2% right now, which is not a whole lot. I don't foresee us ever getting more than 2%. Can't hurt.
To increase the maximum.
Yeah.
Motion to approve.
Maybe one from 2 to 5.
Motion to approve has been made by Mr. Greer and seconds been made by Mr. Harkin. All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand, saying aye. Opposed? And 1 abstention. Did I get that right? Was it Mr. Harkin?
It was the
Wow, I never do that. Sorry.
What's your second? Yeah.
Yes. Okay, next resolution is the membership on the Board of Elementary and Secondary Education.
Who can meet on the school committee and the Board of Elementary?
She could do it.
Yeah, a lot of things these people want to
Not
do.
right anymore.
Yeah.
It's a conceptual. Motion to approve.
Motion to approve has been made by Mr. Greer. Is there a second?
Can you explain what that actually means?
I'm not getting involved in this conversation.
No, I meant as Susan.
I don't sit here as the MASC staff.
It says, therefore be it resolved, Massachusetts Association of School Committees calls for the enactment of legislation to repeal the provision of Massachusetts law that prohibits practicing educators and sitting school committee members from serving on the Board of Elementary and Secondary Education.
My personal opinion, I think it'd be better off with a couple
Teachers.
teachers and or school committee.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Okay, so motion's been made by Mr. Greer.
Second.
Is there a second from Ms. Dargan? All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand, saying aye. Opposed? And 1 abstention, so 4-0-1. Next resolution, preserving local governance of Massachusetts schools. There are 3 school districts, soon to be 2, because Holyoke is coming out of their receivership, which means that they have been deemed underperforming by the state and are under state control.
My personal opinion, I don't care what happens tomorrow. It's worried about Marshfield.
You've been doing so well.
I had to put my head down.
All 3 of them just went.
I don't have an opinion.
I'm going to say.
Okay. All right, so we'll move forward to the next one, personal financial literacy education. Purely informational, but this is actually a bill filed by Senator O'Connor.
I actually like this one.
I like it, but I get nervous if it's forced.
Yeah, so overall, this isn't binding. If the resolution passes, then it's forward.
So if the resolution passes, it directs us at MASC to begin working on the issue. So if you folks at the convention pass this resolution, it gives our organization the power to lobby for that legislation. And the reason I'm definitely not getting involved in anything like that is because I'm going to be one of the 2 lobbyists for MASC when I'm going down like a year off in the state in February.
We do have.
That's fine. We do that.
So this doesn't impact us financially?
Well, it's,
Unless they put all sorts of.
we have financial literacy. Yeah, the depth of how much would be required to have. We do have financial, you've all been to, what's it called?
Yeah, it's a elective right now.
And that would be required.
No, but we also have that financial thing for the seniors. It's not,
Oh, start with money fair, oh, yeah. We also have a course as well.
it doesn't say forces.
I'd be looking for a motion.
So moved.
So moved from Ms. Stetson. Is there a second? Second, Mrs. Dargan. All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand.
Back.
Opposed, and one abstention. You guys, the director causes me more work. Kidding.
It's just here.
That was a joke. Thank you. And then the establishment of a regional school assessment reserve fund.
Does it give any benefit with long term? Did I consider regional side?
Just for those schools who are regional, we get.
Or the Bojack region? And does it help us?
Protect consider a regional
Actually,
It is.
on there.
So it used to be social regional Bojack.
It is.
Education, high school.
Definitely.
Strike that down.
Well, that's why I asked, was
Yeah.
there any benefit to the town of Marshfield? I mean, us as a district.
Yeah, anything that's a reserve fund, there's no harm to it. So,
No feelings on this particular motion.
Correct.
Okay. Which is not an agenda. Yeah, we've seen the feelings. Okay.
No motion?
So no motion. Okay. Thank you very much. Informational updates, Dr. Sullivan.
I would vote
Very brief. I wanted to, first of all, give a big shout out to Marshfield High School's first Rams Awards, which I watched today. I know that Assistant Principal Jennings had a lot to do with it. Principal Senator and her whole team, the staff at Marshfield High School is superb. Yes. Nominating students who made a difference by acts of kindness and bringing families and caretakers in to witness their children being given these awards on stage and recognized. It was very hard.
Can I ask a question to this set very quickly? Where did that idea come from?
What, I can't.
Where did that idea come from?
Really, Robin, we were talking about last year about student recognition, and really Robin was the brainchild behind that, and really also talked about, we're really trying to revamp, I guess, for lack of a better word, our core values. And she did a nice job of tying it into that work that we've been trying to do as well, in terms of how students are modeling our core values, and how teachers are recognizing that and celebrating our students. So,
That's
big
awesome.
shout out to Robin.
Yes, she's fantastic.
My prediction is it will become very popular. And I don't know how it's being received from the staff, but from the family point of view, it was
We have 14 recipients today. I can only anticipate that will increase.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
It was nice. It was nice.
Yeah.
Having said that, another thing that has been increasing is the Breaking Boundaries Club, which
The Robin Jennings Fan Club.
a lot of them spoke at the convocation, and I last count around 25 students in that club. So that's fantastic. They're definitely exerting their student voice in promoting belonging for all. So it's lovely. It's it's been nice. And as a segue, we had our belonging team meeting, our first one of the year, which was successful. We are going to be looking for some more families and caretakers, parents, guardians, to come and join us. But we're still very strong, and there's a nice revolving group from each school that are planning on enrolling it. We confirmed some of our goals for the year. Among those goals are really making sure that building-based teams are established that can perpetuate a sense of belonging at each level. We also talked about the idea of looking at and hopefully adopting, our goal is to adopt an SEL program for the district. And information will be coming out to staff. Dr. Martin put it out about a steering team that we'll be establishing, which will have a broad range of individuals on it. And we're going to have a lot of ways to kind of filter our choices and make the right choice through staff in a number of ways. Through the belonging team, which obviously includes families, through the district belonging team, and then the building-based belonging teams. And then, of course, you get that core steering team that's working to promote that. And, of course, we're going to do this one too. Awesome. For your thoughts. So that's exciting. And then we want to expand the mosaic event, which is something that the individual belonging teams at each building do. Cool. So, and we're continuing to bring cultural responsive teaching look forwards in our walkthroughs. Right now, it's sort of at an audit level, because we really haven't done much professional development around it, but that will come. So it was exciting. So that's all an update on two things that I thought went very well. And, great. I was really happy about the ramps this morning.
That's awesome. Thank you very much. Dr. Martin?
So September 24th, South River School modeled their data dive process using our diagnostic information. So iReady, screening data, DIVLS data, universal screener for number sense. All of the other elementary schools came to observe and walk around. So they had all of their teachers looking at all the data. There were posters everywhere, Post-its, everything. The instructional coaches worked with them. And then the following week, that really is to identify trends and patterns across the grade level, and then use that information to identify students who need support in certain areas, form our small groups. And that happens 3 times throughout the school year at the elementary level. So the following week, all 4 of the other elementary schools took that same process with their staff. Amy McAlpine, myself, and the 4 coaches were just scattered around all 4 buildings just to gauge the process. Amy did get some feedback from the principals about some tweaks we might make the next time, but we're hoping to just continue that protocol for all of these diagnostic assessments throughout the school. And then MCAS scores were officially released last week. We are sending home the reports this week. Schools will be, elementary and middle school will be backpack home, high school will be mail. The buildings will be sending home messages just to let parents know. And then tomorrow, Mike Rich, Amy McAlpine, and I are working, looking at all 5 elementary schools and MCAS data across the board. Almost looking at, where are our pockets of excellence happening so that we can, tap into that. MCAS is tricky because we do so much diagnostic assessment at the elementary level that MCAS is kind of this big macro level look at maybe are there trends and patterns over the course of the years to change curriculum, whereas those diagnostics are done so often that that's really the core information that they use to guide your instruction day to day. So it's more like this big curriculum information and then this smaller pocket of data that's used every day. So it's a little bit, we're trying to figure out how to kind of tie those all in together. So we'll hopefully do that tomorrow and get some ideas. And then the learning launch started Last week we did governmental school in South River. This week we have Marshfield and Hawkinson. We are involving teachers this year, and they are doing them 3 times in their building. But I have a feeling that they will probably end up doing them a little bit more informally once the teachers get more on board. So, that's it for now.
Good question. Does it make sense if, we usually have the MCAS results presented here once a year, does it make sense to kind of segue that into diagnostic text results presentation instead
Yeah,
of just
we actually started doing that. In the past, we did do some iReady overview
Yes.
data and all of that. It's just a matter of pulling it all together.
Yeah.
So I'll work with Mike on doing that presentation. I'm just, we have to wrap our heads around it first.
Right, well, I thought if you're meeting tomorrow and start talking
Yeah,
about it, having that in your mind.
But it's
Yeah.
I mean, the information that they get from those diagnostic assessments is it just is so helpful.
Yes.
So it's really good to see.
I
And
saw
then
that.
almost report out
Yes.
after the middle of the year and end of the year, because you can really see the progression and growth. So,
Yeah, awesome.
Squad.
Okay, I just have a quick update on the district's new approach to our mandated compliance training.
You do, it's so much fun.
Well, my second was good. So just for background, each year, all school district employees are required by federal and state law to engage in annual compliance trainings to ensure understanding of key responsibilities and safe workplace practices. These trainings are designed to promote consistency, safety, and equity across all schools and environments. So the topics include civil rights, non-discrimination, mandated reporting, restraint prevention and behavior support, bullying prevention, confidentiality, student records, sexual harassment, universal precautions, just a whole list of things, digital citizenship, acceptable use of technology, workplace safety, and all of this list of things that you need to be trained on. This year, the district will be working with ArtsEd, which is a web-based training compliance platform to administer our annual compliance training. So it's replacing our previous approach, which was district-produced slides and screencasts and a complicated sign-off process through Oxford, because we need to be able to document that everyone's done all of the trainings. And overall, it's been really successful. So it's, it has built-in tracking so that it's automatically recording completion and sending reminders to staff, where it's previously worked on Marshfield region. So it's doing that. There's easy access, modules are interactive, they can be specific to roles, so there's special suite for like coaches, and you can be very specific. They're available on any device, and all of the content is up to date, trainings are consistent, current, and really interactive, more engaging. It's really been success. As of this afternoon, 96% of all district employees have successfully completed the training. And this year, another training that we're required to do is our ethics training. This year, we were able, in conflict of interest training, we were able to kind of embed that in there, so that, at this point in the year, at 96%, as everybody associated with Marshfield.
Every single, yeah, that's awesome.
They interact everywhere.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So, then my other update is just since the last meeting, I had a chance to meet with the CPAC leadership team, and we are excited. We're currently collaborating to develop just a short survey that we can put out to all families of students with disabilities on IEPs or 504s, and we're going to use that survey to kind of gather that input to set the CPAC priorities for events and resources.
Great. Awesome. Thank you very much. Mr. Miller.
Real quick, I did throw the draft town meeting calendar budget schedule in your packet, in your folder. I put it in late this afternoon, so you probably didn't get a chance to look at it, but a couple things on the horizon. We do need to get the capital budget subcommittee together. fairly soon. So you know who that is now, Laura and Rich. We need to get a voted FY27 to FY31 capital budget to the town by November 4th. So that November 4th meeting, we'll hope to have a vote, first read, in that quick little meeting before special town meeting. So we need to get rolling on that. Once capital budget is in, then we move right into budget subcommittee. So it's all laid out. It's a familiar schedule to previous years. And then this Thursday, we have a meeting with the capital town capital budget committee regarding the special town meeting that's coming up with the Martin Super Group. So it's available by Zoom too, and we'll send it out to the group as well. So
We'll
that's it.
look into that information too.
Yeah.
Rich, even before Thursday, just so we can talk about
Okay, so I think that right there is probably enough directive from this meeting for the capital budget to schedule a meeting. So just vocalizing our new practice, where Mr. Miller has stated a need for that to happen.
So the budget subcommittee.
Well, capital budget, so, yep, and that would be Mrs. Dargan.
We almost have it's
capital budget.
We didn't receive any capital last year, so the document's very similar to last year. We just
look
a couple
genuinely
things.
scared.
I
He's not that scared.
didn't think it was me. Okay, all right.
So Tom, we can keep
You're the
revising
chair.
our budget up until the advisory board meeting, right?
Sorry?
We can keep revising our budget within reason up until the
Oh, yeah.
advisory board meeting in March, right?
Yeah, so this will be we submit a full capital budget. Are you talking about capital or
Well, I'm talking overall budget.
overall budget? Yeah, we can keep revising it all the way up until,
I mean, until the last day.
yeah.
Sean, can you help with
Kind of
this?
nailed.
Yeah, just a question about, because I just got confused. I know we have a capital budget subcommittee, but then we also have a capital project meeting.
So
capital projects, so when those projects are approved, like with the furnace, with the, back in 2016.
Yeah, I've already added Mr. Greer to.
So after they're approved.
So after they're approved, so there's an actual project happening, we want somebody to at least be able to be from the committee. You know, it's just the follow-up of that monitoring piece that's part of our job? Yes.
So we'd have to post the subcommittee for.
Well, no, that's just the liaison.
No, I know.
That's just the
That's for the project's not going.
Right.
But we're talking about.
capital
Oh,
budget
yes.
subcommittee.
Capital budget subcommittee, and that would be under the direction of the new chair of capital budget.
Well, before.
That is that.
Yes.
Hopefully next week.
Well, before.
Right.
Right, so that's next week. And who else is included in that subcommittee?
It's you and Rick.
Just the four of us.
Yeah. There's only 2 voting members of that subcommittee.
Yeah.
And then you as the chair, determine who needs to be at that meeting.
Laura will probably bring Dave Cawthorn too,
Okay.
because of his prominent places.
Okay, so I'll work with Joni to schedule that.
Correct.
And on the agenda is the preparation for the town.
We have a list from the different schools as far as Kevin's requests.
Capital projects? Yeah.
It's
Do we have
the
a
same
list
as
of the
we're
various
working on.
schools?
Oh, yeah, yes. Send an email to all schools.
And there's others. Negotiations.
Yes.
And then my evaluation, so.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
So those will be, we can't,
it depends on how
to get those going too sweet.
like, so they do the work thing, like in.
So I also yes, and sometimes evening.
So sometimes
Yes, those subcommittees will all reach out to you, those chairs will all reach out to you.
No, so-
Mr. Greer will be reaching out to you very soon to respond to the demand to find for the end, for example.
Wait, so sorry.
Would you negotiate?
So if I wanted to schedule,
Yes, that's Richard wants.
if I wanted to schedule an operational budget committee.
That would be Bob who schedules that.
Oh, okay, well, see, whatever.
Yes, you chair the safety.
Can't I just email, like, do I have to make Joni do it, or has to?
You should let her know because she works his schedule.
Okay, and has to, you have to send. I'm just trying to make you not have to do all that. It has to set
Like, usually we're like, hey, Tom.
And there's also, because it's a subcommittee, there's posting requirements for the
Okay,
agenda.
all right.
So it's the same posting requirements as our school committee meetings. It has to be posted. There actually also has to be minutes of every single subcommittee meeting. So just so we're all clear. Any other questions?
Where do we live?
Those minutes just get approved and are available. If people request them, we can post them on our Google Drive.
I post these minutes on our website.
Sorry, I was just here for a minute. Right?
It's not the subcommittee minutes, it was going to be approved by the school committee.
They are approved by the subcommittee.
And then,
Yes.
And the chair decided to do that for us.
The chair of the subcommittee?
Yeah.
Chair of the subcommittee.
Rich, you did a minute.
Rich, do I do those minutes?
Rich, you did a minutes for the capital budget facilities and what
Congratulations, Mr. Clear.
we can talk.
You can knock it out of the park. And not misspell K. Okay, any other questions?
Oh,
comments?
no, you're on contract.
So folks, that all being said, this is going to be devastating. Is there a motion to enter into executive session and not return to full session? So Mr. Greer, second, Mrs. Hardy, that's a roll call. Yes, you're right, I do. To discuss strategy with respect to collective bargaining. If an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the bargaining position of the public body, and the chair so declares, I do declare.
We'll be voting in the executive session.
Right.
Yes.
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 Yes. Thank you, folks.
Thank you.
Yeah.